Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017, and we are on Stappenbach 17. This map is just fabulous. Helper Q is blocked by an object. This one takes an awful lot of space to turn round. An awful lot of space to turn round. Yeah, it's going to take a bit of tidying up on that field. Now, this one over here, this one's causing a little bit of problems now, being at this end, because it keeps going up into that field, and also it's it doesn't like that bank there, so we've stopped twice now. So we'll bring that one back over here and carry it on again. Then also, we've got another issue up the other end of this field, where it's caused another slight little problem. So altogether, this tractor here is not behaving as well as it should. There is room for improvement all round on this tractor's general performance. So I think I'm just going to do it like this. I go all the way around like this. It's going to make life a lot easier. We'll come up to there and then swing up and back down a little bit. And then I can lower that down into the ground. And then we'll start going up across here like this. And kind of want to get that lined up fairly straight before I press H, because of the way the multi-angle terrain works. That one there I don't think is going to cause us any issues. At least I'm hoping it won't cause any issues. Shouldn't do. That one's going to... Yeah, he's going to go on up through there. We've got the little plough and tractor right there, and they're doing really well. They're doing an absolutely wonderful job. The only thing is that it doesn't look like we can join those two fields together. I'd really like to be able to join those two. But no, you can see here, this field has already been ploughed, that little grass field. And this plough has gone and crept over into it and has done a little bit of ploughing over that side as well, which is a bit of a shame. Because if I'll go back over, I'll just replant that bit with grass, but it's not going to grow very quickly. It takes quite a while, excuse me, to grow up through properly. Now, this one here, I am just going to go and have a look at that bit in the middle and see if it's got the option to join fields. I don't know if it has, whether it's got to have the sign there to be able to do it or not. So I know that some of them, that they've got the sign. There's no sign on this one. So I'm making the assumption that that's not going to work. I mean, we can try using the plough anywhere in a little while, and we'll see if that would actually do it and join it together. So we've got just one big field here. Kind of goes again. Well, actually, we can still do whole crop on one of these fields. It's not going to affect that in the slightest. We'll be able to do whole crop. We can, well, we could whole crop the one nearest the farm, and then this one up here we could combine. I think that will work just fine. And yeah, once we've done, well, this one here, once this one's done a little bit more, we will then go around the outside, tidy this field up, and I'll also, once he's come down this end, because we only need to, yeah. I'll do this manually. I'll switch over a minute and we'll see what it does when we go to like joining the fields. Let me just stop that a second, and I go to there, and then if I press Y to allow create fields, is it going to do it? Yeah, it does. We got Y. I press that to allow create field and lower it down. Let's just see what happens when the back of that plough goes in over there. Does it plough up that grass? Right, we don't want to allow create fields at all, because what it's not doing, it's not ploughing up the join in between the two. I mean, it looks like it's pretty close anyway, but it's not actually ploughing up the longer grass. So we've got the two fields are in together. Although looking at that one over there, it looks like it's kind of almost behaving like it's a separate field anyway. So yeah, we could have our work cut out with trying to do that. I'll bring this one up here. That's going across the two anyway. And we'll come to there. You've decided to stop there just because, well, why not? It's very difficult to get some of these tractors to actually do their work sometimes. So yeah, they really don't want to behave themselves, do they? So we'll spin this one round here, and this one's going to go this way now. But I'm just going to stop him there a second. And I'm going to go to this one right here. Start it up. And I'm just going to press H anyway. And he's going to carry on. He's just going to carry on and do his work anyway. Even though he's just told me that he's come to the end of the field. No, you haven't. No, don't even think about trying to turn round at that point when you know full well that that's not what you're supposed to do. Don't even start with me or you will be out on your ear so fast, Sunshine, that it will be burning for a month. Right? You understand that? You understand how things is going to work around here? You do not mess with me, or you will not work in this area again. I will put out the word. I will do it. Don't, so help me, I will do it. Good. I'm glad we understand each other. Right, well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that you had to witness that little bit of ugliness, but sometimes you just got to keep the staff in order. It's just something that has to be done. Now, are you over there going to... He's working it as though it's one single field all the way down, so I'm actually just going to leave him to carry on with working that as one single field all the way down there. And instead, I'm going to bring this one over here, and we're going to start working on this bit right here, because yeah, even though you got the grass down there, it looks like we don't have an option to turn it into one bigger field, which is a bit of a shame. I'd like to turn that into one bigger field. We'll bring this one along here and start doing a little bit. You know, I probably should be doing this bit along the outside. It's just where that one there was working. He's going to cause me problems if I don't do it like this. And we'll use this plough here to straighten up the edges of this field. I'm going to run down alongside the track in a minute. You know, I'm thinking that we should actually just do an outside round with this giant plough like this. If we come down here, I don't have allow create fields on, so it shouldn't cause any problems. It'll go up through that bit. And then we can just come down here, right along the edge of this track. Now, this plough is obviously too big for this map. You would not use a plough of this size on this map. It wouldn't work. Especially as, you know, you can very easily move over into you do not own this field. There doesn't seem to be very many places where we've got that issue on this map. For the most part, this map is very, very good. And I have had it, we got it here a little bit, and I did have it just down there a little bit further as well at one point, but nothing very much. Some maps, the field boundaries are very, very poor. And they like go right into other fields, and it is a real nuisance, because if you don't buy the neighbouring fields as well, you end up sort of having to spend days and days trying to get that. So, is he really doing that again? I thought we'd discussed this. I really did. I thought that you were better than that. I thought you wanted to keep your job. You know, I'm disappointed. Will you stop already? I really thought he wanted to keep his job. You know, it's the kind of thing that just disappoints you. You give these people opportunity after opportunity, chance after chance, and they just throw it back in your face. It's appalling. There's no need for it. I've given you every opportunity to do this, and you're just throwing it back in my face. You're refusing to do your work. There's no need for it. You don't have to be like this. It's just be it on your head, all right? Sunshine, it's on your head. Now you down here, I'm gonna press H on that one a minute, because we don't need you here anymore. And I could use this tractor to just tidy up that field over there. I'm not going to. And by the way this field is laid out, I know that we've got this grass mound in the middle, but it does look like it's actually operating fully as one separate field. So I'm thinking that we'll do that as one field. We'll cultivate it and plant it as one field. We'll ignore the bit of grass, the grass strip that goes up through the middle, and we will try to operate it as one field. Now this one here, we've already done a little bit on this field, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm thinking that with this one, we are actually going to plough it up. And we'll compare this one with how the one just there grows. And I think if we look on the map, so yeah, all of those, they're already ploughed as well anyway. So we've got like, well, of course they are. Of course they are. It's laid out fields, isn't it? Yeah. In order to be able to buy a laid out field, I think it does actually have to be classed as a field in the game. Anyway, get that one going in there. So we'll plough this field, and we can compare the growth of this grass then to the growth of the other ones and see how much of it. I know that it ends up, I think it's like nearly 2 growth stages behind or something like that. It does take a little while. Definitely takes a little while for it to get through it. Now that one there is going to go up through it. Is he going to turn around and pull his little stunt once again? He's not. I am amazed. am genuinely amazed. Right, you can carry on there, and then this one, we can carry on doing our field here. If we just want to go round the outside, really, get most of it done, and we can rush off, get a cultivator, and we can start cultivating this field as well. I'm going to, like I said, I'll treat this as a big field, although those little bits at the end there from the small plough, we can ignore those completely, and we'll turn around here, just sweep that bit in there, and then we'll go over with the cultivator in a little bit. And it'll make life a lot easier. So I'm going to allow create fields a minute, just while I come down through here and see if it does get rid of anything at all on the field join here, which it doesn't. So although we've got that in places, it's not on all of the map. And having seen it working and the way that you can pay to have some of the fields joined together, I must confess to being a little bit disappointed that it's not available on the whole map. I am a little bit disappointed about that. It would have been nice if that was something that you could see on all of it and not just some of it. But still, never mind. It's all right. We'll cope with what we've got admirably, and then we'll move on. Oh! Okay, I started lowering that plough quite some time ago, and it really didn't like it. I think it was because I brought the plough up out the ground, and it kind of caught and then anchored us round. And also I turned too fast, so that probably also would have had something to do with it. Let's bring this one up through here. I'm curious what I would do with this map if I was to actually do like a really long series, like a time-lapse series. Because, I mean, I could do a let's play on here, like a long let's play, but I would do things differently to doing a time. With a time-lapse, I can show all the ploughing. You know, I can set some fields ploughing, and I can show large chunks of it, because what we do is we follow the plough, we watch the plough. But when you speed up 2 hours of ploughing into just a few minutes, it's actually not all that bad to watch. Like I said, the only serious issue that I would have with this map is the trees on the edges. Now, here we've got a chunk of forestry, so you'd kind of expect these trees on the edges. And I wouldn't have tractors and ploughs quite this big working it either. Probably on this map, actually, I wouldn't even go for something as big as the Lemkin. I would keep it a bit smaller than that. It would depend. And I went and got the Lemkin for doing some of the ploughing on the De Terra Italica map. But even there, I think that plough is a bit big for most of the map. And I'm actually thinking that I would get rid of that plough. I think I already did. I think it was leased. And get rid of the smaller one that I got and go for the Amazon one that we've got right here that's working on the grass. Have one of those ploughs as the plough that I use for the map. Now, some of the fields would take a while to plough up with that one, but most of them, it would be about right. It seems to be about roughly the right size. I'm oversteering on this tractor at the moment. I'm going a little bit too far out, and then I'm trying to steer in, and I'm very conscious of the fact that this plough is very close to the trees there on the side, and I don't want to catch a tree and flip the tractor and the plough around, because it's just going to look awkward. Bring this up through here, and then we can start turning. And is it going to haul it out of the ground? It does. That's the problem. Is it when you turn too sharp, it lifts it slightly out of the ground, and then the tractor starts trying to move really, really fast, and yeah, it doesn't like it. I mean, there is no way that you would turn a plough like this in real life while it was still in the ground. You would completely destroy something. You either break the plough or you'd break something on the track. Something would get broken. There's no way that you would do this in real life. You just wouldn't do it. You'd go for a fairly well. What is it doing? Oh, I see. Oh, we've got a dip in the field. Excellent. We've actually got like proper terrain forming in places in the fields. I love it when they do that. I really do. We got that tractor over there, but I don't think that tractor over there is going to be big enough to be able to handle the cultivator that I got in mind. So we're going to have to use this one, which is, I think, is a little bit of a shame. I wanted to use that tractor over there. But we could still use that tractor for doing some of the other stuff. Well, we could use it for doing some of the planting, actually. If we get the cultivating underway with this one, I suppose I could just go and plant the other fields without worrying about the cultivator at all, because the drills are going to be direct drills. So we could get that one going, and then we could get this one set up with the cultivator. Right, no, we'll do it the other way around. We'll do it the other way around. We'll get this one set up with the cultivator, and we'll do once around the outside with this one. and then we'll let it carry on and cultivate this entire huge, great big field. Even though we got that grass strip through the middle, we're just going to ignore that bit, and we're going to carry on exactly as though this was one great big field. And then we get the other tractor there. We'll take that one down, and we get that one set up with a seed drill. And we can't have too big a seed drill. We want something that is going to be able to work across these fields. But I'm wondering if we can get away with having the same size to go with the small field that we've got over there with the grass. Whether or not that would be a good idea. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if that would be a good idea or not. And I have to have a think about that. I really, yeah. Maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to try and get that one in on the same thingy. The same seed drill. Sorry, I'm trying to think of all the words that I need to say, and the words aren't coming out properly, and it's going to be one of those days, I feel. I'm just not going to be able to pronounce and say all of the words. Sometimes I have days where I seem to forget large chunks of the English language. It's a very peculiar phenomenon, and I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world that suffers from this. You go to have a conversation with someone, and suddenly you've forgotten how to speak, and quite frankly, it's embarrassing. It's not something that you want to be doing all the time. So we'll fold this plough up, and if we're going to go and get the cultivator, I'll tell you what, let me just stop that one right there, and we'll go over to this one over here, and we'll start you up. Now, I don't really care about the rest of that field being done properly. We're not going to worry about going around the outside of it. But what I would like to do is I want to fold this plough. I'm going to have to, yeah, I've got to flip the plough over, and we'll run down through here. And then I can set the plough folding, because apparently you can't fold the plough when it's facing the other way, which I think is absolute nonsense. But that's just the way that it is. So bring that one down there. And in around like that. So this plough we bought, didn't we? So I could stick this plough in that shed right there. Even though I'm thinking that would be best as a machinery shed, I could still put this plough in there. I'll just plonk it in there out of the way for a minute, and we'll worry about it later. We may want to move it. We may decide to put bales in here. But yep, the plough fits. Ooh. Just get round that calf pen there. There we go. Right. Calf crates, those are. I'm not a fan of those. I don't like them. And right, put that one out there. And then we can come back out here. And it does fit. Everything fits. I'll just show you these a minute. Now, on some dairy farms, they use these. These are called calf crates. And a calf, after it's been born, is put in here. And this is where it will live for a little while. It's not very big, is it? And for a calf, I don't like them. I think they're too small. And I've never been a fan of any farming practice that puts animals in very small cages. I don't like battery hen farming. I don't like pigs being in extremely small pens. And I don't like calf crates either. I don't like anything that confines an animal to a really small space. Now, I know these are really popular in some places. Some farms, they have hundreds of these all lined up, and they've got a calf in every single one. And yes, the animals can be reasonably happy in them, but I just don't like them. It's just something I really don't like anything that is restricting movement like that, because I just imagine what it'd be like for me to be stuffed into something like that, and quite frankly, I think it'd be horrible. So I certainly don't want to be forcing anything else to do that if I'm thinking that I would absolutely hate it myself. But anyway, that's what those are. Those are calf crates. But we'll ignore those for now. We are going back to this one. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's just go and very quickly spam through our... Oh, there it is. Went too far. And see how we're doing up here. The ploughing is coming along quite nicely. We should be doing a full run all the way down across the field in a minute. So we're not far off of getting this field completely done. And then we're going to... You know, I just realised that I don't need to be... Well, I wanted to do this because we want to, like, compare it. But technically, I don't need to do this. And you'll see later on, this is something that I found out that I didn't realise was part of the game. You know when you go through and you've got ploughing here, haven't you? But if you go and if I go and mow one of these fields, and then you go back and you look at it, and you have the first fertilised stage, mowing a grass field also removes the requires ploughing status on it. So I didn't know that before. I only found that out very recently, that all you got to do to remove the requires ploughing status on the field, on a grass field, one that's planted with grass, that is, not one What? Seriously? How have you stopped already? I need to go to that one there. Why? Oh, I know why. Because he's gone down to that field and he's decided he doesn't own that field. So he's just going to go from here. He's just going to stop. He's going to give up altogether. I don't own that field. See? There. That's why. Right. Well, try ploughing the field that I told you to plough then, you moron. There. Right. That's drifted slightly off angle. This is the one thing I don't like about multi-angle terrain, is that hired help doesn't follow the previous path exactly. So you do have to, every time you go and set it back up again, you got to get it lined up yourself. And if you're doing a long field, it's very easy to get that out of line. That's the thing that I don't like about multi-angle. Generally, multi-angle is good, but there is those aspects of it that are a bit of a nuisance at times. It can be difficult to get it all lined up, but that seems to be doing all right. Okay, let's go back over here and hop into this one. So we've got the outside edge of that field, hasn't had much done to it. We're going to ignore it. We don't care. We want to get a move on. We've done too much ploughing now. It's time to go on with the next task. And you can see what I mean by the trees. Having to do this every time I come through on time-lapse ends up with a horrible blur whenever I'm driving along the roads. So one of the first things I would do if I was doing time-lapse on this map is I would switch off any sawdust things or anything like that, and I'd go up through that road and I'd remove all the trees from both sides of the road. If I was planning to do a lot around here, I'd just go up through and I'd strip all the trees out, because otherwise it just leads to poor quality footage. I really don't like it, and that's the difficult thing. You find these gorgeous maps and they've got the trees everywhere, which they would have in real life, but because when I'm filming at this kind of angle, I can't have the trees. The trees just get in the way and they end up making the footage really bad. So in order to be able to make a good quality time-lapse video, I've got to go through and I've got to cut down all the trees. I don't just mean some of them, I mean all of them. I've got to cut out hundreds of trees. And it's a nuisance. It is a real pain having to go through and do that, because it's not always the most entertaining video to watch if I'm just going through and cutting down hundreds and hundreds of trees. Can I get in here? I can, just. Only just, but I can do it. Right, we'll bring that one in there, and we'll back that one back around here like this. Right onto that sell point. There we go. Bring that one back. And, I mean, we're not actually selling it, we're just returning it, because we didn't buy it in the first place. So bring our tractor over there. Jump out a second. And I will go there, and I will return. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is... I'm going to keep this one. The problem is I'm not sure which one I want to be selling, so we may not end up keeping this one. I've got a number of transit vans, and we've got a number of other tractors as well. Now, the Zetas, we're going to sell all of those. We've got 99,800 on each of these, so we'll sell all of those. Yep, and that one there. This is just going to give us a little bit more funding, so I may not actually have to add in. That's the one we're using right now. It's the only one that's actually deteriorated in value at all, so the other Sammy tractors have not moved. I'm going to keep two of them. We'll keep those two there, but we'll get rid of all the rest of them. Loaders, we're getting rid of all the loaders. I don't want loaders. I will get a telehandler if I want something like that. We're already back over 1 million. So we're doing all right with that. We've got pallet forks there. These small combines, we're not going to be using these, so there's another big chunk of money here. I mean, there is this when you come to the map. You start this map up, you've got all of this machinery in all the sheds, which is quite handy, but because you've got no fields, you can sell all of it, and yeah, look at this. We're making a fortune out of this. Absolute fortune. I don't think we're going to go for a class combine. I was thinking about this, and people have asked if I could, but I'm thinking no, because we've used class combine quite a lot, and I'd like to do something with a little bit more variety. So maybe we'll try something different. Let me get rid of these. Let me keep going, selling all this machinery, because it's going to start to get a bit boring in a minute. We've got Great Plains seed drills, little tiny ones. I'll sell all of those. We've also got Amazon sprayers. Yeah, I haven't actually looked to see what else we've got, so let's just sell that one a minute, and we'll have a look through. We've got the Agco weights. There, we've got loads of them, and then there's some stuff that I've bought, and then we've got the Lizard transits as well, so I'll get rid of a big chunk of this lot as well. There's our two big monster tractors, the Xerion and the Saddle Track. We've got a couple of weights, and then we've got the transit van. So we've got one... Those two are the ones that we've driven around. One of them's the red one, and one of them's the other one that we used in the first episode this week. So I'm going to keep two of those. We'll sell the other two, like that. And that gives us 2.3 million. So we've just got 2 million from selling all the machinery that we didn't even buy on this map. All we've done is sold the machinery that the map came with, and we didn't take it to the shop. So when you start this map, you really do have a good chunk of cash available to you that you can use for everything that you need to do on this map and really get yourself started. So this is the cultivator that I was talking about. This thing's a beast. It's a monster cultivator, and it's got like a double fold on it as well. You can't actually see it very well, but there is a double fold on that, which you'll see when we get out to the field and unfold it. Helper G has completed their task. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I remain unconvinced about Helper G's capabilities. So get that one there. And we'll bring this one out and round. I think we may have more trouble getting this one round the map than we did with the first one. With the giant plough. Because it's slightly wider as well. It's going to make it a little... I don't know, actually. We might be able to do it. We'll see. Let's get up to this corner and see what it does. And as long as we do... Yeah, we should... Right, I want to swing out quite a bit on there. I can't turn quite as sharp. That's the only thing that's holding us back. Is because this one's on the hitch rather than on the 3-point linkage. I can't turn quite as sharp with this one as I could with the ploughs. Just squeeze past some of those cars there. Maybe squeeze a little bit more than I should have done. I don't think I scratched their paintwork, so we're probably going to be alright. But you never can tell. Sometimes you just misjudge these things slightly, and it's really not your fault. Now we let that one unfold. Now the only issue we've got is that we were getting some warnings saying that we didn't own the field down this side. So we've got to keep it away from that edge slightly. This could be interesting. Because of the uneven ground slightly, a cultivator of this size may pull us around a little bit, like that. It's trying to pull us around already. Let us lower into the ground and see how we go. It's just this side here. It's only going to be this side that's going to cause us a problem. You don't own this field. Right, it's not enough to stop the cultivator from working altogether, which is a good thing. Partly, that's the depth of the cultivator. If we were using that Lemkin one, that's like a really shallow one, it's really wide, but it's also really shallow. And that one, I think we'd actually be left, with the don't own the field, I think we'd be left with gaps in what we've done and what we haven't done. But fortunately, because we got such a big, a long cultivator on this one, so it's wide and long, I think it's going to be alright with that. I don't think we're going to have any problems. So we can come round here. I'm actually going to bring that one up to there, and then I'll lift it up. Back it up. Like this. And then we've got to get up past these trees. Now, this is going to be a slightly more tricky bit, because we've got to get past all the trees. And we've got to go alongside here, all neat and tidy, without actually sliding sideways and catching any of these trees. So you've got to judge it well. I mean, you may have GPS that can do this, but yeah, oftentimes if you're doing like an uneven surface like this on any field really, your GPS isn't much cop. I've seen people using big buds or equivalent to a big bud in Australia doing some seeding with an absolutely monster big seed drill. And then they come up to a tree that's right in the middle of the field, and they've got to go round it. You're not allowed to cut trees down in Australia, in large areas of Australia. And so you got this tree in the middle of this huge prairie-like field. And he goes and he does a circle around the tree. Now, that's all done by eye. There is no way, there's no other way that you can do that. It doesn't work on the GPS. And then, once he's gone right the way around the tree, then he goes back and re-engages the GPS. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this same video before on this channel, and I'm pretty sure somebody also linked it in the comments on the day that I did actually do that. But yeah, it's a very impressive video. I think it's just called biggest seed drill in the world or something like that, and it does look very cool when it's working. It really does. The tractor, I don't know what sort of tractor it is, because I always thought it was a Big Bud, but Big Bud is in the US. And this is in Australia, and I don't think there is Big Bud in Australia. I think this tractor is actually like a homemade type thing, or unless it's just a big brand that is found in Australia and not really found elsewhere in the world. I really don't know. I don't know anything about the tractor that does it. I just remember seeing this thing and seeing the bloke drive around this with a really huge, wide seed drill, and I just thought that is some very impressive tractor driving. That is 100% skill all the way. It is really, really good. And we do have... Why would you have gone down there? What possible reason could you have for driving down here? I really don't understand the logic of these tractor drivers sometimes. I mean, what could you have been thinking? I don't, you know, to be honest, I don't think he even was. I don't think he even was thinking. I think he was just like daydreaming, thinking about his girlfriend, whatever it might have been. But yeah, there was complete failure. So he's now been let go, and now his girlfriend works for us instead. And also, I think their relationship has ended because she had a better job, and then she had to take over this job for reasons unknown. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but apparently she had to take over the job from him, and then she ended the relationship. So now she works for us, and we pay her more money than what we paid him, because quite frankly, she's a better operator. So there you have it. Do your job, and then you won't get fired. I really am quite cruel to our hired help, aren't I? I am generally quite nasty to our hired help. I'm not like that in real life. I've never employed anyone in real life, so I don't really know, but I would hope that I wouldn't be like that in real life, because I wouldn't like to be treated like that. But anyway, is it going to give up? You don't own this field. I give up. I'm just going to run away screaming because I don't know what to do. Use your head. There. Right. Now I'm going to have to try and straighten this out again because of the whole multi-angle terrain fiasco. It's just going well for us today, isn't it? Right, you do that, and then we can go up, and we can hopefully... I just need to do a little bit more with this one. I don't need... Oops, didn't need to do that. I don't need to do loads. I just need to do a little bit more. I reckon once around is enough that when we can just, like, put some hired help going, we can go and get a different cultivator to work on that one and that... Well, no, I was going to get a cultivator. I was going to go straight in with a seed drill, wasn't I? And I'm thinking the Amazon Condor would actually be a pretty good one to use in here. I was thinking that might be, like, one of the better ones to go for, because it's a, Amazon is... You know, I don't actually know where Amazon is. I thought Amazon was German, but maybe it's not. Maybe I've got that wrong. We'll have a look. We'll see what we got. If we come to here, I've just pressed H on there for the hired help, and you should now just turn round. And I'm not going to use... I don't really like using the AI vehicle extension on tractor tasks. Most of tractor tasks is actually a lot faster just to use a standard hired help and then tidy up the field afterwards than let the AI vehicle extension do it, because they take so long to turn round on every single headland. But what are you doing? Are you going to do this all right? Are you going to... The big question is whether he's going to get all the way up across that field without causing any problems. And also... Oh, no, he's doing that bit all right. Let's come down to there. I keep saying he. It's actually a she in there today. And... Are they going to try and turn round on the field boundary there? I don't think they will, because it should just go all the way across. And they can treat this as one field. I mean, it isn't actually one field at the moment. Although, is it? I think it might actually just be one field for purposes of the game, for purposes of everything, and we just ignore the piece of grass that's up through the middle. It's just a line of weeds that we unfortunately can't do anything about. That's what we can call it. And you are actually turning round, although I don't think you're going to turn round properly. I think those little lines of... Yeah. He's already done it. He's already gone and messed up again. So while this one here turns... Right, that's doing just fine. That's absolutely perfect. I want to go to you, and I want to press H, because I don't want you fooling around over here. There is no need for it. I'm going to bring you over this side, and you're going to flip that plough over, and you're going to go here, and you're going to go up that way. Actually, just wondering if we should... I know what we will do to start with. I will come all the way back here, and I will... just start you on this side, because otherwise you're going to keep saying that you don't own the field. But if I do a line of ploughing up through here, then you'll stop with that nonsense, won't you? And you'll allow us to just get on and do this job properly, just once. Get on and do the job without putting up a load, get a load of fuss, without a load of complaints, any of the rest of it. You're just going to let us get on and do the job, which would be quite good. I'd quite appreciate that, just once. There we go. And we'll bring that one up through there. And then what I'm hoping is, if I can start that one there, facing that way, he should go up there, turn just a little bit. Go on, he'll go to... That's as far as he's going to go. But yeah, he's going to go the right way, though. That's good. We'll come back round over there. Okay, that one's doing good. That one's doing good. We've got that one there, and then we've got... You've come up and turned, and you don't seem to have had any problems with that either. This one's doing really well. The hired help does try to turn a little bit too sharp on the headlands at times, but there's not a lot that we can do to alter that in any way. This cultivator is quite impressive. This is an impressive cultivator. It's a huge, great monster of a cultivator. I'm assuming that this would be for fairly heavy soil, because it's such a long cultivator. I'm assuming that it would be designed to cultivate heavier soils, or maybe this is actually one designed for doing cultivating without ploughing first. Because of the longer cultivator, it's got more tines to handle the stuff all the way through. Is that right? I'm not quite sure on that. Somebody could let me know in the comment section. Is this one actually designed for heavy soils and for no ploughing? And then, like a shallower cultivator, obviously that would be better equipped in lighter soils, and also probably for following the plough. If you're going to be cultivating a field but not doing any actual ploughing beforehand, you'd use something like this, wouldn't you? I mean, looking at the tines as well, it kind of looks like almost like a culti plough. Very yeah, they're quite deep as well, aren't they? It does seem to go quite a way. So I'm assuming this is some sort of it is actually designed for going into fresh ground without actually having gone in there with the plough first. But I'm not quite sure. I never really I did some arable work, but most of my experience is from keeping stock rather than arable work. So I'm not 100% certain on this one. Anyway, we don't need to worry about that. We want to go to you, the class Zerion saddle track, and this bad boy is going to go back over to the dealership, and we're going to find ourselves a seed drill. We don't want one of the ones that is going to go really, really wide. We want one of the narrower seed drills. Now, while we don't have anything on us, we can go down this road here. And I don't think we can go down that road. Oh! Well, that's interesting to know. We can just go in there. Right into the back entrance. There we go. Right. We can slide on in the back entrance here, rather than having to go all the way round the front. And let's see what we're going to purchase. We are going to get a sewing machine. I'm still waiting for Sewing Machine Simulator to come out, and I have not yet seen it. I'm Sewing Machine Simulator. It'd be, you know, basically you'd be a tailor, wouldn't you? We could use something enormous like the Great Plains one here. I don't want to. I don't really like the idea. We're definitely not using one of these because they won't fit around here. It's just too big and too extreme. The Stara Estrella would actually fit, but that is a South American one. Really, we'd be looking at one of these Horsch ones right here. Now, this one here is sugar beet and corn. It's a row crop planter. This one is for other, more standard things. But it's only 12 meters. We've got 5,000 litre capacity, and it's a 12-meter one. So that's from Horsch. And then we have the offering over here from Amazon. This is a 15-meter one. Now, I know we've used this one many times before, and we haven't really looked at that one, but I have used it on time-lapse. I'd rather use this one. I like the Amazon. I really do. And the Horsch Pronto is always a wonderful thing to use. The Lemkin, I've never been a fan of this one. I don't particularly like this one. I don't know why. I just don't like the appearance of the machine, and I'm just not a fan. My two absolute favourites are the Amazon Condor for bigger fields, and then for standard fields, we go for the Horsch Pronto 9. Until I can afford to get the Pronto 9 on a farm, I do like the Waderstad Rapid A. Now, I like this one because it is a direct drill, as is that one and the Amazon as well. but this one here is only grain, whereas this one is grain and fertilizer. So it does have that in its favor. And then, of course, you've got the Amazon up here, which again is both. And it's got 8,000 litre capacity. This one up here, this Horsch has got both, but it's only 5,000. You look at the size of that tank, you would have thought that that would have been bigger than the Amazon. But anyway, the Amazon is the one that we're going to go for today. And 224,000, but we still got 2.3, well, we've now got 2.1 million. Do we have anywhere on the map somewhere that we can go and buy fertilizer and seed, or do I need to buy pallets here? It's one thing I'm not sure of at the moment on this map. Do we have places we can go and just buy seed? You've got earth grain, milk cell. There's nothing there. You've got a BGA up there and you've got the pallet cell there. Pigs and sheep. We've got our standard starting farms that we had over here, but I got rid of most of the tractors on those, so now we've sort of got more of a limit on what we have around. But I tell you what, we'll go and have a look at this one. Let's go over here and have a little look around and see if there is any sale points so that we can just go in and buy seed. That looks like a working workshop. You know what? It might help if we had this one up. We've got a workshop and what's this over here? Well, this. Ooh. Ooh. What is this? Is this a place that I can come and buy? There is pallets here. This is. I don't actually know what this one is. It's like the garden centre. There's silos there. Let's see if we can come here. So we're opposite a church right here. Yeah, I don't know what this place is called. Let's have a look on the map. Oh, that's the Raiffeisen. We're over there. So we want to, and we got the Baywa Earth grain down there. Let me just visit this one. This is. Well, now we look like we got seeds here as well. Oh, calc and fertilizer. I don't know what calc is, but I'm pretty sure what fertilizer is. Oh, hang on. Isn't calc like lime or something like that? We'll bring it down here. We're going to bring it down here. This one is going strong and doing well. We've got no issues with that one. You're doing great, and you are doing pretty good, all things considered. The odd little problem here and there, but I think overall you've redeemed yourself-ish. Very, very ish, though. You complete. Okay, we'll leave you there. And I want to go to you. Get rid of that one a minute. And we'll go and get that one hitched on. And then we can drive. We'll just drive down there and we'll see if we can find seeds down there. If we don't have seeds, yes, it's literally right through there, I think, where I'm looking at. So I want to come out of here. And I reckon I'll drive down there, don't I? Is that where we want to head? Straight down this way and then turn left there. Turn right, sorry, no. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. And yeah, this isn't a place that I want to be. I need to turn round here. I went too far. I took it too far. So we'll back up here. Hang on a minute. We've been going around the roads and everything. There is actually a track up through there that I can get very easily back to our farm. And straight out from the dealership. A straight line almost out of the dealership and into our fields. At least we know now for the future. But we've got that one up there. We don't have to come all the way around this way. My issue is that I do have to come all the way around this way a minute. Because I need to go down there in order to get seeds and stuff. And I'm not sure how I can do this. I think we're going to have to head down this road and hope that we can turn the right way or turn round or something. Come down here. Well, I'm going to struggle to turn round here. We're just going to assume that that person there has kindly gotten out of the way instead of walking down the road right in front of us, because that really wouldn't be very helpful. I feel that he's probably a better citizen than that, and he would have gotten out the way, and yeah, we didn't see it. So it looks like he went under the wheels of the tractor, but he didn't actually. He got out the way, and didn't cause us any problems, didn't cause any additional paperwork or anything like that. So now we can come up through here, and we can head down here, and we can get into this place right here. And please let me buy seed and fertilizer. Now, of course, the next issue is that to be able to get to the seed and fertilizer, I may have to do quite a bit of shunting around. It looks like... Oh. Actually, I don't know what this looks like, because I don't know how I'm going to get that. I can get the fertilizer bit. No, I can't. I can't even get to the fertilizer. And that's not a buy point, because it would have automatically opened up, wouldn't it? Let me try pushing it in there. Like that. And then going rough for R. That doesn't work. Nope. Okay, we cannot buy it from there. That's not an option. We come through here. I don't know if there is any points on his map that we can actually buy stuff. If there is, please let me know. If there isn't, please let me know. If I can know before next week, it'll make life a lot easier. I mean, what I'll probably do is I'll probably just buy a few bits and I'll place them up there. But we're going to park this one in here, just like this. And we'll hope that maybe there is somewhere that we can go and buy from. If not, we'll have to go and like shunt around in town a little bit in order to be able to find where we're going. And at the beginning of next week, we'll be able to start doing our planting. And then carry on from there doing the next bits. Now, we've got a little bit sort of around the edges on this field that we could do for ploughing. I'm not going to worry about that because the idea here is that we want to replant it with grass. And because it's already a marked out field, it's not going to make any difference whether or not we actually go through and do it. The only thing that's going to change is you get the ploughing yield. But we've done enough that we can see that on the map. And so all we want now is to be able to plant the whole thing with grass so that we can compare that with another one. One that hasn't been ploughed and replanted. It's the time taken. It's the amount of time that it's going to take in order for it to regenerate and be able to get a cut of grass. Are you able to do that in the early spring and get a full cut of grass off it later in the year? Because that's kind of what we're looking for on that one. And then we can go over to this one here. We are doing really well. This is quite a big field now. We've got a lot of space up here now. So I'm not quite sure what the size... I don't remember what the size of the fields were when we bought them. I know they were quite big. And then, yeah, once this cultivating is finished, we'll park this cultivator in the shed. Because I think this is one that we could use again. We can use this tractor and cultivator together. It's a good combination. They work well together. So we'd be able to use that in the future. I mean, obviously, we won't be doing that because of this map. But anyway, yeah, you get the idea. So that is all we've got time for today. We will carry on with this next week. We will get some planting done out here. We're going to do, I'm thinking, wheat up in this field, barley down in that field. The barley will be whole crop silaged and put into a silage clamp. And the barley up there, the wheat up here will be combined with a nice big combine. We now know that we can come straight up through those trees down there instead of having to go through the town. Which is going to make life a lot easier for us to get the gear up here. When we actually need to move on to the next bits. But before we actually start the harvest, we'll be getting cows. We'll put them in the sheds. We'll buy a few bales to start with of straw, and then we'll get a load of straw off of these fields up here when we come to do our harvest. But anyway, like I said, that is all we've got time for. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.